Hi guys, this is the report and the agenda video for our March 2013 meeting. Looking forward to it next week. First, in terms of the report, what's been going on around here? Busy and amazing as always. We had a great immersion class last week with our first group of on-the-ground change makers, and it was really pretty phenomenal. I'm looking forward to having them share with the community over the next couple of months all the stuff that they're putting into practice. Pretty fun to do this with folks who are actually on the ground making a difference, rather than folks who are influencing them. Two areas of our strategic priorities really have been our focus for the past month in addition to immersion. One is the effort to stabilize and enhance our current programs, and the other is the effort towards increasing and enhancing our visibility. Let's start first with the efforts to stabilize and enhance the work that we're already doing. We have had most of our focus has been coming out of our resource development planning. Most of our focus has been webinars, workshops, really focusing on our educational mission and developing the faculty to teach that. So it's been a busy month in terms of both planning webinars and workshops, starting to get moving on some that are actually going to be happening, as well as developing the faculty towards that. You may have noticed during the middle of the month we wound up with a cash flow hiccup, which is what happens when you're developing new programs. So you're undercapitalized, you're developing new programs, and to get those started, you have to infuse capital, which you don't have. And so the cash flow hopefully will be evening out over the next month or so. I can't guarantee that we're not going to have another hiccup or two over the next month or so, but as we start developing those programs, that should be less. The really exciting parts about moving forward, though, with our asset-based resource development work to stabilize and enhance the programs that we have has been the effort to engage more participants as volunteers, as really tapping on the talents of folks in our community to move forward with things. And towards that end, we're probably going to be talking with you guys as well. We're going to start having one-on-one conversations with folks to ask, how would you like to be participating? In what ways would you like to participate? In what ways and what gifts do you have to share? So we'll really be starting to build upon the gifts and talents of the folks that are already in our community. Towards that end, we had our first faculty development meeting, which was really, really energizing, but in a way that feeds into all of our efforts to enhance our visibility and our messaging. It's becoming clear that all of that is tied together, that our messaging and how we want to build faculty and what our programs need to be, all of those really are focused around the same questions. And so it's been fun to watch all of them jive together and to watch what that means for developing faculty from our existing community so that we can develop more programs, so that we can build programs that not only accomplish our mission, but stabilize and enhance both cash flow and everything else. So with everything being so interrelated like that, it's very, very energizing because everything feeds everything else. It's not like a normal fundraising program that focuses on, well, we need earned income strategies, so we'll do this. What we're really looking at is, how do you develop all of the assets and resources that you already have in a way that nurture those resources, that then nurture the mission, that then, of course, cover the cash flow and everything else. And so with it all being interrelated, it all energizes itself, which is very, very cool. One of the things we're going to be doing in the coming few weeks, on I believe the 20th and 21st, and you'll be getting notice of that, is in our continuing efforts towards resource development, we're going to be deconstructing the entire immersion class and pulling it apart, looking at what leads to what happens, what do we do, creating a workbook, creating the topics, creating the content. As we deconstruct that, as we've seen in other resource development work, the assets sort of appear. We start to see what we really have and how we can build on that. And then, of course, that feeds into the faculty development of who's going to teach that, how do we qualify people to teach it. So it's all pretty exciting, all within the strategic initiative to stabilize and enhance our current programs. So looking at our immersion class as an asset, looking at our faculty development, the program itself, the development itself as an asset, but our faculty and our current grads and community, looking at folks who want to participate, all of that building upon itself. So it's been pretty exciting around here as we've started putting that together. You guys were also part of, many of you were part of our messaging meeting last month that, again, Dave Svet, Zach Breaker, and now Erica Mills really led us to some places that we wouldn't have gone on our own. So it's really, we can't be grateful enough to them for taking us there. The question that keeps coming up, and it's interesting that it came up in the faculty development meeting as well. So the questions are again, popping all over the place, the same questions, is what does Creating the Future want to hold itself accountable for owning? What piece of the work that's being done globally do we want to step into and say, we'll do that, that's us, that's our role, we will be that. That's going to lead into holding ourselves accountable for what do we want to create, what do we want to model, especially. And so that's been pretty exciting. What it makes very, very clear is that we're not only blurring the lines between the sectors, not only we're sort of blurring the lines between all of the disciplines that really are all just about the different pieces of our lives. And we've become so fractionalized in the way people live their lives. Here's my work life, here's my spiritual life, here's my personal life, here's my family life, here's my business life. This is philosophy, this is science, this is spirit. And what happens when we blur the lines and realize it's not even a matter of lines, that it's all one integrated whole, everything starts to flow. And that's becoming very, very clear as we look at our messaging versus our faculty development versus what should our education programs be. If we look at it as one integrated whole, the messaging becomes clear and everything else becomes clear. And so as we look at, as a community, as a board, as Creating the Future, what do we want to model to the world? It's all sort of starting to interrelate, and that has come out of all of the meetings we've had in the past month. So again, focusing on our visibility and our messaging, focusing on our stabilizing and enhancing our resources. That's pretty much been our past month, plus a full week of immersion training, which was really, really pretty over the top. And now for the agenda for the upcoming meeting. There's really two items. One, you guys had said that you wanted the time to review the videos on asset-based resource development and really dive in to even know what questions you wanted to ask. And so again, just like last time, this item really is about you guys asking questions, coming up to speed on what are the plans, what are we doing, asking the questions of Dimitri and me, asking the questions of each other that have been in the room for these discussions. And then I guess the question becomes, what piece of that do each of you want to participate in? And so again, the questions are entirely up to you guys. What do you want to know from us? And then if there's a piece of that that you feel like you'd like to participate in, that also leads into what piece you'd like to participate in our visibility efforts, in our messaging efforts. And that leads to the second item on the agenda, which is that question that was raised during our messaging meeting, which is what piece of the work, what is it about this work to amplify the movement to create a better world? What is the piece of that Creating the Future really wants to say, put a stake in the ground and say, this is us. This is the piece that we're going to do. So those are the two discussion items, and we just look forward to another rocking meeting, and most especially to finally having Mark Eckhart join us as a board member, and that will be very, very exciting as well when we all move forward together. See you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.